Good morning, happy Friday. My name is Nyoka Lynn. So today I came on here because I am I'm seeing a repetition of behaviors and cries out for help. I just want to touch on it. And as I've mentioned before, I usually go according to what my experiences have been and what I've been taught. So this morning, after my little meditation, I listened to a young man who has a beautiful heart. I like to listen to him because he has a beautiful heart. And he was quite upset. And it touched me because I knew where he was coming from. And I could feel it. And it brought back memories of where I was at particular times. He was talking about how he is separated from his family and how there's a lot of what's the word? I hate that word, dysfunction, but I guess that's what it is, dysfunction in the family. I just want to touch on this. You know, we make a choice to incarnate here on this earth. This is what I was taught, and this is how I unpacked it and processed it. We made a choice to come here on this planet Earth to incarnate into this avatar, if you will. The greater part of us is still in non-physical. It's like we're having a dream. We're having an experience of life. We chose our family. We chose our gender. We chose everything because we wanted to experience something that was going to really benefit us for our soul's evolution, our experiences, our knowledge. Now, if you have a particularly difficult family to get along with, here's what I want to say. First, you chose them. Second's for a reason. Now, a lot of us have gone through thinking that our family doesn't like us for our choices, doesn't like us for who we are, will guilt us, try to manipulate us in various ways. But here's what I want to say about that. I learned to be who I was, to who I am. And I'm learning that it's a constant unfolding. And the more I unfold the layers and push back all those layers of who I am not, I have a greater appreciation for me and for the family members or friends or whoever. I have a greater appreciation for them as well. You think, well, how can you say that if they're giving you a hard time or they don't speak to you or they lie on you or whatever they do? Because now I see it for what it really is. Look, I had to learn to be authentically me. I had to learn how to love me first and not be guilted or shamed or whatever it was the situation. I had to learn to flow with it and just to keep focusing on myself and my growth. Now, can you still participate and communicate with family members? Absolutely. But look, set your boundaries. Remember, every interaction you have with family members, with friends, whatever, work, family, whatever it is, it's an energy exchange. One energy affects the other, okay? So if you have a family member who likes to guilt you because you're not making them happy, you might want to ask yourself, am I strong enough to do this? Am I strong enough to be in their presence? Am I strong enough to stand and just be who I am and not be destroyed by it? Yes. It's important. Nobody wants to be controlled. Nobody incarnated here to live up to anybody else's expectations. And I know sometimes it's rough, when you're separated from family members, loved ones, whatever you are going through. Sometimes it's rough when you don't see eye to eye. And they try to control you and manipulate you by not talking to you, by not liking you, by just absolutely separating themselves from you, for whatever reason. Everybody has a filter from which they see, you know. But the most important thing is this: love yourself unconditionally. Don't let anybody shame you or try to make you feel guilty for you trying to be authentically you. Because you, authentically you, is why you are here. Mm-hmm. Yeah, sometimes it gets rough, like around holidays or whatever. But what's even rougher, as I've mentioned before, is trying to wear somebody else's clothes that just don't fit. And what happens with this, when you let people guilt you and shame you and try to manipulate the way you live, the way you think, the way you approach them, when you let them do that, you end up getting bitter and resenting them. Mm-hmm. Nobody likes to be controlled. Nobody is here to fit in anybody else's box. Imagine if you love me, family member, you are going to cater to my feelings. You are going to cater to what it is I want you to be. It's kind of nuts, right? It's ludicrous. So, yeah, sometimes it's hurtful when we go through separations of family and friends, even relationships, If two people show up and be authentically who they are, not trying to harm anybody else, not trying to harm the other person, when you show up authentically you, mm-hmm, and it's not appreciated, sit back and ask yourself, why? Why? Another thing that helped me is everything is a mirror. What we put out, we get back. Be authentically you. Flow in that. Have unconditional love for yourself, unconditional love for the folks around you, because sometimes we want people to accept us so badly, and they won't because we don't fit in their design of what we should be. We do the same thing, don't we? When we want them to change to be something we think they should be. Solution here is everybody show up and be authentically you. Don't intentionally try to hurt anybody, because remember, what you put out, you get back. Yeah. Don't try to hurt anybody. Don't try to control anybody. Don't try to manipulate folks in thinking, oh, I am going to withdraw my presence from your life until you measure up to what I think you should be. Yeah, it's okay. And I know it can be hurtful. But really, it could be all designed by you before you got here to learn a valuable lesson. What would that lesson be? To be authentically you, to love you unconditionally. Don't choose to feel guilt, because we choose. We choose our thoughts and our emotions. Really, we do. We choose. If someone's making you feel guilty, you're choosing to feel that guilt. You have nothing to feel guilty about being authentically you and to be loving you. Do that. That's why you're here. Yes. So I guess that's what I want to say about that. Sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow because we have this perfect world, in our thinking of how things should be and how we want to see people be. And yes, it's wonderful to think that family members could just all get along and accept each other, even if we're different. Wouldn't that just be wonderful, huh? If we could all do that, wouldn't that be a wonderful world? If we could all just love each other, respect each other, not try to control how other people behave, their lifestyles, whether they're straight, gay, whatever, we all have opinions about how other people should be. Yeah. Let's keep our opinions to ourselves. You don't have to put up with ill behavior. You can set your boundaries. And may I suggest, if you're holding on to offenses that have gone on for years and years and years, you might want to look at those. Was there a misunderstanding? I know of a situation right now. One person was talking about apples, the other was talking about oranges, metaphorically speaking, and they totally misunderstood one another, and there's been silence for years. Yeah, it's sad. But be authentically you. Love you. Have unconditional love for them. Let people be who they are. Yeah. And you just concentrate on you. Yeah. That's our best gift to ourselves and everybody else, is to be authentically ourselves. All right. Breakfast is calling. I hope everybody enjoys their day today. Try to get your feet in that ground. Yeah, and get a few rays of sun. If it's raining where you are, enjoy the rain. It's beautiful. Yeah. Well, my name is Nayoka Lynn. Enjoy the rest of your Friday. Namaste.